I used to think teasing was harmless, just a playful way to keep things light when life began to feel heavy. But looking back now, I realized it wasn't teasing at all. It was testing, pushing boundaries I didn't understand were fragile until the day I went too far. That was when I discovered how quickly love can crumble when respect quietly slips away. Ryan, my husband, was never the jealous type. He carried himself with a quiet confidence that never needed loud words or displays of dominance. That calm steadiness is what drew me to him in the first place. After a string of chaotic relationships with men who thrived on drama, Ryan felt like a safe harbor, a peaceful refuge after too many storms. Then there was Ethan, my best friend since college. We'd always been inseparable, finishing each other's sentences, texting about everything and nothing. Ryan knew about him from the start. I introduced them early because I felt I had nothing to hide, and for a while it truly seemed fine. The three of us would even hang out sometimes. Ryan and Ethan got along, though Ryan was quieter around him. I thought it was just his personality. But slowly, small things began to shift. Ryan's jaw would tense when Ethan's name popped up on my phone. His voice would pause before he asked, "Everything okay?" Instead of noticing his discomfort, I treated it as a joke. "What, are you jealous?"
Ide te asa, lauging.
"You have nothing to worry about." He'd smile, but it never reached his eyes. I kept pushing, little careless comments like, "Tafel, he's funnier than you." Or, "Ethan actually listens when I talk." I convinced myself it was harmless fun, never seeing that each quip was a small crack forming in something precious. Eventually, Ryan stopped laughing. He simply nodded, changed the subject, and withdrew into silence. One Friday evening, Ethan texted asking if I wanted to grab dinner after work. I said yes without much thought, sending Ryan a quick message that I'd be late. His reply was short, "Okay, no questions."
No hesitación.
That should have warned me. When I got home, he was sitting at the kitchen table, a half-empty glass of bourbon in front of him. The light caught his face in a way that made him look older, distant. "How was dinner?" he asked evenly. "Good," I said. "You didn't wait up for me." "I did," he replied quietly. "I just wanted to talk." I leaned on the counter, trying to read him. "Sure, what's going on?" He drew a breath before speaking. "I think I've been patient," he said. "I tried giving you space to have your friends. But tonight I realized something. Respect isn't about space. It's about how you treat what's inside it." I frowned, confused. "Ryan, what do you mean? It was just dinner with Ethan." "Our friends," he finished for me. "Yeah, I know. You've said that 1,000 times." His voice was calm, steady, too steady. That frightened me more than anger ever could. He stood and walked toward the hallway. "I'm not angry, Claire. I'm just done trying to prove I'm not the bad guy every time you want attention from someone else." My throat tightened. "You're overreacting." He turned, eyes weary but firm. "Am I? Because every time you joke about me being jealous, what you're really saying is that you like that he seems to care more than I do." I had nothing to say. The air felt heavy, thick, like smoke after a fire. He grabbed his jacket and wallet. "I'm staying at my brother's for a few days," he said softly. "Maybe we both need space." I tried to laugh it off. "Come on, you're not serious." He paused at the door, looked back once, and said words I'll never forget. "Maybe I should have been jealous. Maybe then you'd have known I still felt like I mattered." Then he left. I stood there for what felt like hours, listening to the soft click of the door. A sound that didn't bring peace, only the echo of everything I'd lost. For the first time, I wondered if my jokes had been quiet farewells, unrecognized in the moment. The house felt heavier, quieter.
No yelling. No slammed doors.
Just the dull ache of a space missing someone who used to fill it. That night, I went to bed half expecting a text or a call. Nothing. The next morning, I checked again. Still nothing. By the third day, I knew he wasn't returning soon. Ethan sensed my mood immediately. He called during lunch, careful. "You okay? You sound off." I hesitated, then lied. "Yeah, just tired. Work's rough." I couldn't admit my marriage was unraveling, that my harmless jokes had silenced Ryan. Saying it out loud felt like confessing to something crueler than I intended. That weekend, I went to see him. His brother Mark opened the door, surprise flickering. "He's out back," Mark said, stepping aside. Ryan sat on the porch steps, a mug cupped in his hands. He looked calm, too calm. I didn't know where to start. The air between us felt fragile, like a cracked bridge we were both afraid to cross. "Hey," I said softly. He nodded. "Hey." I sat beside him, close but not touching. "I didn't mean for it to get this bad." "I know," he said, "but meaning well doesn't undo what happened." That hit harder than any anger could. He wasn't mad, and that somehow made it worse. Anger implies fire. What he had now was ash. "I thought it was just teasing," I whispered. "I didn't realize it hurt you." He looked at me, eyes tired. "You made me the joke in my own marriage. Do you know what that feels like? Laughing along while the moment I show it bothers me. I become the insecure husband." I stared at my hands, twisting my ring. "I was stupid." "No," he said softly, rubbing his hair. You were careless. That's different. The truth hung between us, alive and unspoken. I wanted to reach out, but I didn't know if I still had that right. I haven't talked to Ethan, I said. Since you left. Ryan nodded. That's not really the point. Then what is? I asked, voice cracking. He looked at me steadily. It's about what you chose to protect. Every time you made a joke at my expense, I wasn't hurt because of Ethan. I was hurt because you defended him more than you defended us. My throat tightened with the ache of understanding that came too late. I want to fix this, I whispered. He looked toward the yard, autumn leaves drifting down. Then start by understanding it. Don't say sorry just to make it better. Figure out why you felt the need to make me small just to feel seen. We sat quietly, two people who had once loved easily, now in the ruins of pride disguised as humor. When I left, I didn't cry. I drove home in silence, carrying the weight of every moment I'd brushed off as a joke. I finally understood. Love doesn't disappear all at once. It erodes slowly, one careless laugh at a time. Weeks passed. Ryan and I exchanged a few polite messages, distant kindness. I told him I started therapy to learn how to communicate without hiding behind sarcasm. He replied, "That's good."
I'm glad.
A month later, he came by to pick up some things. We spoke softly. He said he wasn't sure what was next, but wasn't closing the door entirely. I didn't ask him to stay. I just thanked him for his honesty. That night, I looked at old photos. One from our honeymoon stopped me. I was laughing. He was gazing at me with that quiet, patient smile. And I realized something I'd never noticed before. He wasn't jealous. He was trusting. I had mistaken his calm for indifference, his steadiness for weakness. He didn't stop loving me because of the jokes. He stopped believing I respected him enough not to make them. Now, when someone says it was just a joke, I remember that night. The sound of the door closing, the silence afterward. Because sometimes the joke isn't funny. Sometimes it's the last thing you say before someone stops laughing with you forever.